Well, okay, here in this video, to be an adult, I want to talk about that a little bit. An adult. What is an adult? Isn't an adult somebody that was supposed to have grown up? Okay. What's your definition of growing up? Well, somebody that gets of age enough that they can now take on the responsibility of taking care of themselves. That's right. And if they should get a female pregnant and it's a guy, he would take on the responsibility of his children and her. And if it's a her, she'd take on the responsibility of her child and him. That's right, okay. And to be growing up, right? Okay. They call this an adult. In other words, you're going to go get a job, you're going to be responsible. Okay? Well, let's take a look at what's going on in today's society and what's been going on for, as far back as time goes, okay? When it comes to people calling themselves adults. Okay? Because when I look and I see, and I keep going back as far as you can think of, I can't think of a time that people didn't want to fight one another over something that's materialistic, or fight one another over somebody else's woman or somebody else's guy or what have you. I see people's ability to act like children, not adults, okay? I don't see too many people that act like adults in today's society, and I haven't, when I'm looking back in history, I don't think that we've had a time where people was really adults. I mean, let's look at the genders, for example. When's the last time women and men, straight across the board, both had equal rights? Was 100% equal. Nobody, the rights were the same. When's the last time that happened? I can tell you when. Never. That's right. And that should technically be a big red flag flying up in the air saying, hey, needing some attention, needing fixed. But the problem is we don't fix anything. We fix a wrong with a wrong, okay? See, when the men was above the women and it wasn't right, rather than fix it, we fixed it all right. We put the women above the men. So we kept the same division, okay? Of course we did. Because we're bumbling idiots, right? Isn't that why the reason we did that is because we're bumbling idiots? Let's think about what we're doing right now in another person's country. Killing. What do you think you're doing when you're going over to another person's country and you're killing somebody that you've never seen in your life, that's done absolutely nothing to you, that don't even know you, okay? And is not even armed, more likely, and you're just shooting them and killing them, okay? You're dropping bombs on their cities and their houses, and you're killing their people, their women, their children, their husbands, their families. You're destroying their lives. For what? Is that adult behavior? No, that's not adult behavior. Okay? That's not being an adult. See, a real adult knows how to not stick their nose in somebody else's ass and tell them what they can and cannot do or believe. A real adult not just takes responsibility for themselves, but they take the responsibility of doing unto one as they want done unto them, for one. Okay? And that is a must. And your reputation comes from what you make of your reputation, okay? So you think about these people that are supposedly adults that are here on the computer, for example, online, trolling people, called themselves an adult. An adult? No, you're a long way from being an adult. You're demonstrating your childish, unadult-like behavior, okay? It's no different than what we do on each other in society. Look at the dating scene, the domestic abuse, and the Happen Again series that the TFL movement has been presenting you. In the Happened Again. Is that adult behavior? Really, is it? Is that being an adult? Is that being an adult because she's gotten herself killed by her husband because he was an adult? Because after all, if he'd been nice to her, he'd been weak, right? Isn't that what your misconception is? That if he treats you the way he's supposed to treat you, that he's weak? And this is not to slam the female gender when I say this, but it's the reality of what's going on, okay? It's the behavior that we exhibit in today's society that shows that we're not growing up and we're not adults, and shows that mankind is really never growing up. Because there's no excuse for World War I, World War II, World War III. There's no excuse for slavery. There's no excuse for the Civil War. There's no excuse for any of it. Okay? Don't matter where the war happened or what it was. There's no excuse for any of these religious wars. The only excuse that you can ever come up with that is legit is the fact that you was not adults. You was children and you were acting childish. And you never learned how to grow up. Because see, when you learn how to grow up, you realize you don't need a military. You realize that you work together for the good for everybody. And you realize that you don't have no one person or no 10 people or no 20 people be in charge of billions of people. Okay? You set down guidelines and laws to be an adult because you have to have laws to keep people in line that want to think that they don't have to work for a living or they don't have to do something somebody else has to do and they want to just take advantage. Maybe steal from you, okay? People who want to be complete jerks that need to be locked up because they don't understand that we need to work together. Because society needs to work together as a whole, and that's being an adult. You don't need a military because you're not going to be fighting each other over resources and control and power, okay? Because power is obsolete if you're an adult. You're not after power. Not a real adult. Somebody that's twisted, that has selfish wants, selfish needs, that only cares about themselves. And that's the other thing in today's society. That also comes to show that you're not adults, and no means at all. You've lost, majority of people have lost their common sense. They don't have the ability to care for others. They only care for themselves or the immediate family. And in today's society, a lot of immediate family don't even care for immediate family. In today's society, there's a lot of families broke up, family members killing family members. Okay? And that's no lie. Open your eyes and look around you. And if you stop to think about why all this is happening, it's because you people have never grown up. I don't care if you say you're an adult, and I don't care if you're 50 fucking years old and you're a fucking judge up the fucking top of the Supreme Court. I don't give a shit if you're Barack Obama, President of the United fucking States, or who you are. You haven't grown up. You're a long ways from growing up. Because you don't demonstrate lies to the public and say you're an adult and you're growing up. You don't go out and kill innocent people just because you're saying you're an adult. Being better than somebody else and over the top of somebody else and picking a fight with somebody is supposed to be cool, right? I guess if you're a child, that's cool, right? Because that's not what an adult would do. See, the problem is people's never grown up. The only thing that's ever happened is you've continued to never grow up, and you've allowed your own selfish wants and needs to get in the way, and you've allowed your ability to think that you're above somebody else because you get something somebody else don't got to corrupt your fucking brain, okay? Because that's what power does to the human brain, okay? And you lost all care for anybody but yourselves, okay? You don't want to know what's going on around you. You get mad when you hear the truth. Why are you getting mad when you hear the truth? Well, it's because you're not an adult. You never grew up. Because you never understood that the truth is, when the truth hurts you, there's only one reason it can never hurt you. Because you're living a life of lies. Because you're living a deception. And that should be a big red flag, okay? Just like the sexes not being equal straight across the board should be a red flag. That should be a big red flag telling you there's something wrong. When you get this many people speaking up with TFL, okay, that should be a red flag when you got that many people saying the same thing. But you can't see red flags. You don't know when it's in your face, do you? Just think about it. So, do you know what an adult is, really? I don't see too many adults in today's society at all, do I? And that's just the way it is. I don't see too many adults in today's society. And you people really, really, truly do need to find out what an adult is and realize how fucked up this world is, that we've never had adults in this world from as far back as you can go, because people never grew up. Because when you grow up, you realize everything I said is correct. The only reason you need a military is because you never grew up. The only reason you're having wars is because you never grew up. And it's no lie. Think about it. Leave your comments and opinions. Next video, you'll have a good one.